Welcome to Michelle's Life on Repeat. I'm Michelle. I'm surrounded by my toilet paper and my orchids because we have entered into lockdown number 2 here in Vancouver, Washington, and this is how this girl gets surviving orchids and making sure you have the essentials. Hello YouTube friends, this is Michelle from Michelle's Life on Repeat, and today I'm going to show you a couple of orchids that I got at the grocery store because you know they looked pretty and I had to have them, and they weren't that expensive for the store I was at, so I was excited about that. But this one is very unique. It's got multiple spikes. Let me show you in today as I repot it, hopefully into this container. You know I have chronic illness and I try not to let that get me down, so I keep my hands and my mind busy with orchids. Now, we went into lockdown yesterday, and so it was my last shopping trip for a while. Of course, I had to pass the orchid aisle at the grocery store, and I fell in love with 4. I fell in love with more than 4, but I only came home with 4. Let me show you this one and possibly another one. She's back here. You can see her of the purple maroon vein. Love that color. Let me show you this first one and show you how unique I think her spikes are. So first of all, I noticed she had 1 spike going up, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. She might be a 1-year wonder, you know, where she's like glorious, and then I'll never see that happen again because at the nurseries they pump them full of wonderful hormones and they have the right perfect conditions for everything, but I couldn't resist. And she is packed in bark, which is what I already tried to make my orchids grow in, bark, and then if they fail, we try everything else. So let me lift her up because she's coming out of her pot. So let's see here. I'll lift her up, show you all those roots. And there's one unique stem. It's coming from way down here, spike. Sorry for the shadow. And it goes up and it curls around and she comes out right here. So I'm curious. I'm gonna open her up. I know you shouldn't, but I'm just curious. Gotta open her up and see what we can do to straighten that out. Let me lower you down if you can see this. Let me lower you down just a bit. Not too much, so let's see here. So let us remove all the dirt. Let's see what's in here. What is inside? We have 3 spikes that we can see. She has that cone in the middle of her, the baby seed pod when they originally potted her up. Those are great to start them off, and then they bark up around it or moss up around it. But eventually the middle will suffocate those roots. Do you see that in there? Right in there. That's her foam core. It's actually even in a basket. Let me get my scissors. Let's try this angle for a more front row approach. I have sprayed rubbing alcohol on my scissors while we were paused. And here is the beautiful plant with her basket. Let us snip that basket. There's one piece of it. It doesn't look pretty, it doesn't look bad. The roots look really good, like they haven't been cramped in here too long. But I need 2 hands. Go after that. Aha, the basket is removed. Now to get that middle core out. Just wedge it with your fingers, give it a gentle little, I'm gonna throw all this bark out since I have so much at home and I don't know if there's any bugs in this. If it's going back in bark, I wouldn't waste your time trying to pick off the bark that's stuck on the roots if it's stuck there, because you might damage them. Let's see the back side. These are just falling off, so that's good. Now here is that cute little root. You see it? The stem, I could call it a root. It did a curlicue. Pretty interesting. And it didn't grow straight up, curlicued, and went right off to the side. So we'll leave it be. That's what she wants to do. We'll try to pot her up with it just like that. There is one broken root here, if you can see it, there in the middle. So I'll probably trim that. She's just pretty. I liked her because she had more smaller, delicate flowers than I was used to seeing on Phalaenopsis. So she's most likely a hybrid, but the tag didn't give me any clue as to what she was. Let's see. We will try to put her in here. The bark mix that I'm going to use has a little bit of moss for moisture. It has some perlite. They're little like grow stones, and it has just bark, and I will put that in the bottom. Not too much of the moss, because me and my environment here in the Pacific Northwest just doesn't need that much. It would stay wet too long, so I'm gonna get them in there, reposition her, slide those stakes down. You could take the stakes off while you're working with her. I'm going to do that so I don't smash any roots. Okay, we left one stake in there. Now this is the one that has the curly coming off the side, so I want to make sure not to suffocate her, but I want to get this to go down further. So what I'm going to do is actually remove all the stakes and then spin it gently while she's in the case of this. Because the roots are going all the way to the bottom, I'm going to start again and put the roots right in and then spin. See how it compresses down a little bit? Just perfect, so nothing's really going to be suffocating. Perfect. Now I'll fill in all around her with that mixture. My hand's probably in the way. Yep. Let's try this again. Stay up there, little one. My dirt slash not dirt. My orchid mix is down below me. I'm on my knees trying to make this work for you guys. Hello! So, I mean, there is some charcoal, there is some bark, there is a variety. Perlite, even a few stones. When I have unused mix, I put it all into one container. A little bit of bark in there. They like air, but I don't believe they like air pockets. This is a really hard way to film. I apologize for my awkwardness. I don't think I'll film this way on my knees again. The back seems to have gotten enough, but I need to get more around the front. And then put her stakes back in. And let us try to get these stakes back in. I'm going to shimmy them down and watch that I don't hit a root on the way down. On the side I can see the roots. Trying to go around one. And I will clip this piece back up. And that small one that's hanging down, I'll give her just a little clip so we can see her in all her glory. There she is now. You see her? Put her upright. And let's give this bundle, that's unbelievable. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spikes coming out of this beast. She probably will be so exhausted that we won't see flowers again for quite a while. Let me back her up a little bit while I clip that up. That last piece out. So I didn't clip all the pieces back up. I got one here, and on this one pole I put 2 clips on it, but this middle one I just left her to stand on her own. Same with this one. It is amazing how many spikes are in there. See her coming right up out of the middle? That's not a good thing, I don't think. Coming out of the middle is a terminal spike. But she's coming out. These two both are coming out of the middle of here. This one's coming out from underneath, where you would expect. This one's coming out from underneath off to the side. And this one comes up 1 notch above it. I think I will call her Mini Blessings because she is so many. So many. Let me get a better picture of you. Blessings, because look at how many beautiful, beautiful flowers we have and spikes. And the roots were gorgeous. So that will be her name. I'll make her a tag. I'm going to give her a drink of fertilized water and leave her be to settle in. In all seriousness though, I do want you to know to be safe, be smart, don't be stupid, wear your mask, and love on those around you by checking on them, making sure they're not bored off their wits, making sure they're not having anxiety out of control. Love on them by a phone call, by a Zoom, by a letter that you knock and drop and leave at their door. Who knows, you can get creative. And by all means, if your neighbor needs some toilet paper, share it.